Hey guys, Jim here with another video for you. I did a Final Destination ranking video last week, and not included in that ranking was the brand new Final Destination film, Bloodlines, which just came out this past week, Friday. I'm filming this on Tuesday, May 20th. Um, when I filmed that video, I didn't include that movie in the rankings because I said I hadn't seen it yet. And I said that when I had, I would do a review on it and include it in the rankings. So that's what we're doing right now. But before I begin, if you like what you see at the end of this video, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe, but most importantly, leave comments below. Let me know how you felt about this movie if you've seen it already. Now, I'm not going to go into any spoilers here other than stuff that's already been, mentioned in the advertising, okay? This is the sixth film in the Final franchise, or the Final Destination franchise. And you know the setup of all the movies. You see somebody, you think it's the main character, and a big disaster happens, and it turns out that it was a premonition, and they cheat death. And then the rest of the movie, everybody that they saved starts getting knocked off in crazy ways. Okay. In that regard, this movie is the same, but it is also different because it does begin that way. The set piece in every film, and again, it's been in the advertising, so I'm not giving anything away, but in the first film, it was a plane crash. In the second film, it was a huge traffic accident. In the third film, it was a roller coaster accident. In the fourth film, it was a NASCAR-related car accident. And in the fifth one, it was an accident on a bridge where a bridge gave out. Well, in this one, it seems to take place in the 60s, and it's a young couple going up into a glass-bottomed sky restaurant that's about 400 feet in the air. And as they're up there, the woman starts feeling things are not right, and all hell breaks loose. And it's pretty cool. For the set piece, it's really well done. It's quite graphic. We'll get into that in a little bit. It's really well done, okay? And I don't like heights, so that might have been one of the reasons why it worked so well for me. But what makes this movie different than the other ones is normally she would get that premonition and then it would start over again. And in this case, it's not that at all. You see her die, and as she does, somebody else wakes up like it's a dream, but it's a reoccurring dream. And it turns out that the main character, who is played by an actress named Caitlin Santawana, the character's name is Stephanie. She's a college student. She's been having this reoccurring dream that is literally destroying her life. She can't sleep. It's destroying her studies at school, everything else. So she goes home because she thinks that this dream that she keeps on having has something to do with her estranged grandmother. And it turns out that she's right. I'm not going to go into plot too much more than that, but basically what happens is you follow Stephanie, her brother, and her three cousins as they're trying to find out why it suddenly seems like death is after them. And there's a couple of things that stand out for me in this movie, okay? We're going to go into it right now as far as what I like about it and what I don't like about it. What I do like about it is, like I said, it's a pretty fresh spin on the story, okay, for the most part, at the beginning. Then it kind of plays out like all these films do, okay? But I got to admit, at least they tried to go at it from a fresh angle, and I appreciated that. The performances are all good. Quite honestly, the only actor in this movie that I recognized in anything that I had seen before was the late, great Tony Todd. We'll get into him in a couple of moments, but I didn't recognize any of the other actors, young or old, but they all did a fine job. I want to throw out a couple of mentions. I mentioned Caitlin Santawana as Stephanie. Tio Briones plays her brother Charlie. And the real standout of the young characters, in my opinion, is this actor named Richard Harmon, who plays Eric. He is the oldest cousin of the three cousins. He's the one that if you've seen any kind of teasers on the internet, he's the guy with all the piercings. He works in the tattoo parlor. And he also provides the comic relief kind of in the movie. All the best lines are his. And he's really good. The one thing I will say about this movie is that every character is likable. Okay, it's not like, you're invested in them, but every character is likable in this movie. It's not like, usually in these films, there's at least one character that's an asshole. That's not the case in this movie. Everybody is nice and likable, okay? The other thing that I really liked about this movie is Tony Todd. He does his last appearance. I know he's got another film coming out at some point this year, but as far as I know, this was his actual last filmed appearance in a film. And it gives a nice little send-off, not only to his character, but to him. And if you're a Tony Todd fan like I am, it's a beautiful, beautiful moment in an otherwise goofy, disgusting, graphically bloody horror movie. But it's a very nice moment, and I'm glad that he was able to do that before he unfortunately passed away last year. And you can see by his physical condition, he was quite ill when they filmed this. So, R.I.P. Tony Todd. This movie, I forgot to mention, was directed by Zach Lipinski and Adam Stein. Apparently, they are also partially responsible for getting the Scream franchise back and running. I don't know. I'll claim ignorance, but the other thing I want to mention that I liked about the movie was it's graphic. Okay, the kills are very good. They're very well done. There's a couple of moments that I did not see coming, and after I finished watching the movie, I realized that they were little Easter eggs, little callbacks to the other movies that I didn't really pick up on until after the fact. And again, I don't want to give any spoilers away, but one of them has to do with a piano. That's all I'll say about that. And it's a great moment. It's a great, great moment. Overall, I did like the movie, okay? I didn't love it, okay? But to be fair, I don't love any of the Final Destination movies with the exception of the first two. This one, I think, is the best sequel since Part 2, though. I will give it that. So if I was going to redo my rankings, including this one would come in at number 3 on the list. So from top to bottom, my favorite is still Final Destination 2. My second favorite is the original. My third favorite would now be Bloodlines. My fourth would be Final Destination 5. The fifth one would be Final Destination 3. And the last one, dead last, is still The Final Destination, or Part 4. I still just don't really like that movie, although a couple of the kills are, memorable. But anyways, I don't want to ramble on too much more. I hope everybody enjoyed this video. If you did, please consider giving me a thumbs up, a possible subscribe. But most importantly, leave comments below. Let me know how you feel about the franchise in general, but this movie in particular. Let me know if I'm on or off. Oh, I forgot to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would give this movie a solid 8. It is. It's very entertaining. It's not going to win any awards or anything, but it isn't. It's much more entertaining than it should be. Let's put it that way. And like I said, if you don't mind, there's some CG in there, but I got to admit, it's well done. And if you don't mind graphic kills, you'll enjoy this movie because it is pretty graphic, and that's right up my alley. So I hope everybody's having a great day. We'll catch you on the next one.